So this lick comes from one of the songs that's a little slower in tempo and has a cleaner tone, a little more melodic throughout. But it's a perfect example of showing how you can still have some of those chromatic lines, little faster lines, some arpeggios. It doesn't have to be one or the other. In fact, it's, as we've discussed, it's a lot better to kind of have the contrast of the two. You have the slower, more melodic phrasing, and then when you get to those fast lines, they really stand out, or the chromaticism, or whatever you're doing. So this starts out with an arpeggio, basically. Right, and then it goes into that cool little chromatic thing, which he plays it a lot faster, but it's basically 3 notes per strings, 3 notes per string, and you're skipping strings. So you play the 8, 7, and 6 on the G string. Then you play the same pattern, 8, 7, 6 on the E string, so you skip the B string. And then essentially you play the same pattern on the B string, 8, 7, 6. But you start with the 9th fret on that and you go down a half step. So it's really a 3-note pattern on each string. But you're starting with the 9th fret on the B string to make it kind of a 4-note pattern there. And then he goes into this cool little arpeggio. So he mixes chromatic, melodic phrasing with sliding in between notes. Then he gets into this chromatic thing. Then he gets into that little thing, which at first seems like an odd shape and pattern to play, but it really comes from this D major or D flat major 7 chord, which is what he's playing over. And instead of playing which is your D flat major 7 arpeggio, he starts on the 7th degree, then he skips the major 3rd, and just goes down there. So it just sounds a little different. Again, it's Guthrie's way of never seeming to do anything the normal way. He doesn't just run up a full 2-octave arpeggio or scales and all that kind of stuff. So after that it goes. And right there's another little cool chromatic thing. Instead of going down the scale, right, he throws in that 1 note on the 7th fret. So you have, and right there even, he's walking down this little arpeggio thing. And each one he's bending just slightly. Then he gets into another really cool arpeggio over a G altered chord, right? It's kind of that Hendrix chord, right? Just moved up. And you have, instead of, again, he's going up an arpeggio of that chord. He plays each one of those notes, except he approaches the major 3rd of each one with a half step below. So he's playing a minor 3rd, major 3rd thing there. Right? Just a really cool little idea to get him through that chord. And again, it just outlines the chord perfectly because you're playing the chord tones. Right? So you have all this stuff going on here in this real melodic thing, but you're still throwing in chromaticism, approach tones to arpeggios, and it's just really great stuff. So there's a whole bunch of little ideas that you really can explore with.